Interstellar is one of Christopher Nolan's most notable films. Most die-hard Nolanites will point to it as one of their favorites of his, and it's one of my favorite Nolan films as well. However, Rotten Tomatoes critics have the film at a pretty mediocre 72%, citing that the film's concept might be a bit of a grasp. But I don't think that's actually the issue with the film. Yes, there's no doubt Nolan loves his big concepts that can sometimes escape the audience's reach. But there's one specific simple problem with the end of the film that, if solved, could have made all the difference. Today, I'm going to make some simple, clear changes to Interstellar's ending and help Nolan's fantastic sci-fi film stick its landing. Before we dive into the third act, let's get clear on some fundamental elements of story which will be used in identifying problems. If you watch my other videos, one thing you will see me talk about a lot is philosophical conflict and the importance of a strong dilemma in a story. A story is a string of choices a protagonist must make between two paths, beliefs, or views. Let me explain. In Interstellar, our protagonist, Cooper, must make the choice between the love he has for his daughter and being there with her, versus saving humanity from extinction.
Once you're a parent, you're the ghost of your children's future. I can't be your ghost right now. I need to exist.
And this is a difficult dilemma. If he stays with her, humanity might die out in the next few generations. But if he sets out to save humanity, he has no idea if he will ever see her again.
Murph.
You have no idea when you're coming back.
It's this dilemma that drives the story. Throughout the film, Cooper constantly has his daughter on his mind. He must get back to her.
I'm thinking about my family and millions of other families. Okay, plan A does not work if the people on Earth are dead by the time we pull it off.
But for every step Cooper takes towards saving humanity, it's one step away from his daughter. There is a cost, a sacrifice to Cooper's actions. When Cooper goes down to Miller's planet, it cost him 23 years of life that he can never get back with his children.
Cooper.
Messages span 23 years.
Play it from the beginning.
When Cooper gets to Dr. Mann's planet, he finds out that the plan never was to save the people back on Earth.
Well, he never even hoped to get the people off the Earth. No.
Every step forward, there's a cost. And this is the core of story momentum. Now that that's clear, let's take a look at what happens at the end of the film. So we enter the black hole. The one place it seems humans can't get to. The one place that has all the answers Cooper needs to save the people back on Earth. Cooper finds himself in this three-dimensional tesseract, and he realizes that he can see Murph. The entire tesseract is a massive library of Murph's bedroom. Cooper reconnects with TARS, and they talk for a while until Cooper realizes he can give the quantum data he's found in the black hole to Murph through this tesseract.
Constructed this three-dimensional space inside their five-dimensional reality to allow you to understand it. You've seen that time is represented here as a physical dimension.
What this concept jargon really does is set up one simple rule. Cooper can see through old memories and send a message to the past. Don't get lost in all the noise. It's a very simple rule being set up here. From there, Cooper uses the watch to relay the quantum data to Murph and save the world. And it's a 10-minute sequence to go through what is essentially a couple of beats, and that's why it drags. Not because the concept is too wild, but because the choices Cooper is forced to make throughout the entire film do not climax here. He gets to have his cake and eat it too. He saves humanity, and he gets to see Murph again. So if you break it down, Cooper gets inside the black hole, gets the data, and finds a way to relay it to Murph.
We code the data into the movement of the second hand.
Then he successfully transmits it and wakes up inside Cooper's station and gets to fulfill his promise to Murph and see her again. No cost, no sacrifice, and therefore the ending falls flat. So how do we make this stronger? What the tesseract inside the black hole should ultimately do is present the final, most important sacrifice that Cooper will have to make. It will be a hard sacrifice for the audience as well as for Cooper, and it should hurt a bit. And that's why it will work, because that's what the audience wants to see. We don't care about the concept, we care about what it costs to save humanity. It is the sacrifice that makes the achieving meaningful. And here is how it might look. Cooper gets inside the tesseract and realizes he can send a message using gravity through time to Murph. He has the quantum data. Humanity will be saved.
We code the data into the movement of the second hand.
But TARS gives Cooper important information. There's no way out of the black hole. But Cooper denies this. It can't be this way. He promised Murph he would see her again, and he must keep his promise. But TARS tells him that this was a one-way trip, no going back. But Cooper can still save Murph. He can still save everyone back on Earth and do what he set out to do. Cooper composes himself and begins transmitting the quantum data into the watch. At the same time, Murph finds the watch and realizes that her father left the data inside. As Cooper continues to transmit, we see Murph working tirelessly in a messy office to decode it. And she finally does it. And after all that quantum data, there's a final message. To Murph, from Cooper. 3 simple words. I love you. The tesseract begins to close. Cooper closes his eyes and accepts his fate. And now the audience is left with something. Sometimes, even genuine promises aren't kept. At least not in the way we think they will be. But just because Cooper couldn't make it back doesn't mean he didn't love Murph. He did all of this for her, and he was thinking of her, always. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this quick fix, and if you made it this far, please hit that like button. And if you're interested in working with me to identify and solve every major problem in your feature-length screenplay, then click the link below this video and we can discuss working together one-on-one on your script. And as always, thanks for watching.